Hi there, I hope you are well. Welcome to this podcast. My name is Virginia Njuguna and this is My Friends Love. You can find us on our social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at My Friends Love. And also you can find me, Njuguna Viji, on Instagram. And let us dive in today's episode. So today is all about talking to a leader. I know you are a leader. Let us dive in and learn what we have for today. Yes, talking to a leader. Before we proceed, I have a story. It's based on leadership. But this is something that has happened to me in the past 1 week. It happened last week, last week. And I happened to go to church, not in my home church. I had traveled to Meru. And then there in the service, I encounter my former boss. In the service, I was shocked, at the same time excited, because even all through the service I said I'll say hi to him after the service. So tukaendelea na service ikaisha. So when the service was on, nilijipata I am really thinking of how my life was when I was working under that organization. And many of the things I remembered were positive, but one thing came and it was a negative thing. That really ilifanya ego yangu iko zile za mbona nimsalimie. He did this to me, why mbona nene nimsalimie. Actually, even I've never forgiven him. So many things came out, I was ranting out to myself. And I texted my leader, who is a good mentor to me, and my leader, who I'm going to also talk about in this episode. And he told me, Virginia, I know you're forgiven him. Just say hi to him when the service is over, and then trust me, everything will be okay. As long as umemtoa kwa roho yako, Virginia, you're okay with it. And I remember when the service ended, I went and said hi to him. And then for 1 minute, I think he forgot who I was. Ego up. Karibu irudi juu kwa zile za, I think I've also seen you somewhere, but I think it was along the road. Then God akaniambia, Virginia, be humble. Be humble and just say hi. And we said hi, and yes, and tukakumbushana and everything. It was a good moment. But remembering the life I was having in that time, I really learned a lot from him as a leader. He was, back then, I don't think he was born again because the things he was doing. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But right now, I was so happy to see him in church. Yes, that night I went and prayed and told God, and yeah, God, you are loving. You're a loving God, and you can change anyone. Yes, from his leadership, from his leadership is what I'm going to share. The few characteristics, the few things I learned from him, and also learn something else I've learned from another leader I am working with right now. So from this man, he is a big lawyer. Let me not mention names, but he's a big lawyer. I value him right now so much for the steps in life he has taught me. I never thought I was going to be a leader back then, because I was working as a receptionist of two companies, but under one person. So I was dealing with employees from this side and employees from this other side. But from there, I really learned a lot. He was one punctual leader. That is one thing I can say I've learned from him. One punctual leader who, akisema, akiahidi the employees, tomorrow you will have this kind of breakfast. Tomorrow you will be here, mnaweza pewa off day, or you can come to the office at 10. Akisema alikuwa anatenda. And that is one thing I was like, wewe, leader anakaa too easy. But he's one strict leader. Everyone alikuwa anamuogopa. Hata kama anatupea any kind of breakfast he wanted. Hata kama alikuwa atuambia watu waingie kwa ofisi at any time. He is one leader who hata huwezi taka kupatana naye kwa corridor, because he was very strict but very good. At the same time, I was asking myself, what kind of a leader is this? Yes, tuna enjoy freedom and atupea, but we still fear him. But I came to see kumbe that was not fear. For me, I feared him because he was, nilisikia watu wakisema ni mbaya, nini, nini. But the moment, like right now, sitting and looking back, kumbe this is the kind of leader who, he's this strict leader. Once he makes a decision, he has made it. Hata kama ni kukufire, he will fire you, hata change mind. So one thing I can say, he's one punctual and decisive, if there's that kind of a word, a decisive, like akidecide amedecide, haisi change. That is one thing I can say I learned from him. So sawa, I know that might not be grammatically correct, but ni ile tu mse unajua ki make decision haisi change. That's what I mean. So take that home. Yeah, that is one thing I can, those are two things I really learned from him. And I'm grateful to God for we met. It was like 2018 and I know we're 2022. Hizo miaka ziko hapo katikati. I never thought I'll ever encounter him. Actually, I never thought I'll encounter him in a church. And that is one joy, one, yani I am so happy because of that. And God continue blessing that man, continue blessing him and his family. From my place of work, I am in charge of a certain docket where I am working with, let me just say 75% of the people are older than me. 10%, 10 or 20% are my age mates, and then 5% are younger than me. And working in a place where all of them are youths, but getting everyone's view, everyone's idea, it has been hectic. It has been a tough place to be in. But I'm so grateful to God for the grace and for the lessons I have learned from other leaders, that once you have made this decision, it is it. And I'm grateful because I was afraid at first, because I'm like, I'm a leader of older people than me. But God has given me the grace to work with them. God has also made me understand it's not even about your age. At you're 24 and others are 28 and you're their leader. No, the fact that God has placed you there as a leader, people will respect you for that. And I'm grateful to God for that opportunity. Sindio? Yes, now taking us back now to another leader, another lesson I have learned from that leader. He is our logistics leader. His name is Pastor Felix. He is one leader who is very calm and very strict when he makes a decision. Now this, I want you to weigh between these two leaders. Not that you're comparing them, but you're learning different things from them. So my former boss, he was very strict and people feared him. Now this is also my other boss, one of my current bosses, and he is very friendly with everyone and he's very strict. Kwanza hii yake, my current boss, it comes out very ironical. Like ndasema aje, it's kind of, how can you be friendly with people and at the same time you're very strict when you make a decision. And for real, I can say these two people are like, for now, my current boss, he's really relying on God's wisdom. Yes, he knows a lot, and yeah, he's older than most of us, and he knows how to handle young people. But the way he comes out with wisdom from the way he reasons, and you know, say yes, akona wisdom, but at the same time, he rely on his own understanding. He's relying on God's wisdom, and at first, it makes me afraid of, do I want to be this kind of a leader, or do I want to be this kind of a leader? But this is the challenge. You cannot be like any of them. You are you, and you can never be like anyone else. God has placed us in every department as a leader. Si lazima ukuwe ati wewe ni boss job. You can be a leader, you're at a shop, umepewa shop, umanage M-Pesa. You're a leader at that particular place. God amekupea a group of children to work with. That is a leader. Whatever you do, even you're your own leader, because a leader makes decisions. A leader has to account to everything that has happened for a period of time wamepewa. That is the same as you. In your life, you have to give account of, have you wasted your time? Have you utilized your money well? Ama unatumia pesa vibaya, then unateseka later. So there are very many virtues we get to learn about leadership. And gathering up all of them, I come to say, yes, we are all not the same, but there's something unique in every single one of us. And that is what makes us awesome. That is the most awesome thing in every single one of us. So as I have said, I have learned about decision making, very strict, Punctuality, that is one thing I, Virginia, I am working on, still working on. Si ati nimefika. And also, there's also one thing I am learning on wisdom, really relying on wisdom from God. Yes, I know, maybe I'm wise. You are wise as an individual, but God anakupea with God's backup. Like ukiwa tu na God ni yana ako na wewe, then you never make a wrong decision. Another thing I can say I'm learning is about character. This is now apart from the two of them, one thing I'm also learning from every individual, every leader I am encountering in my life is the character itself. A godly leader. Actually, right now we're talking about, like, I am a leader in church. I am a leader of my own life. I am a leader of young people who we are born again, or even outside there in the film industry, in whichever department you're in, God has placed you there as a leader, and you're a child of God, you know that. So how is your character? Are you the person who mko kimoja, you're doing some good things, alafu back huko una backbite your other leaders, una backbite your other fellow people? What kind of character are you portraying? Are you morally upright? Do you have even integrity in you as a leader? Those are the qualities, if you are growing to become a leader, you should really work on. Sawa. Another thing, a leader, you should have purpose. Hii ni kitu inani challengingi left, right and center. Like, yes, you're a leader, you should have a vision of where you really want your leadership to go. You should have, yani, mtu akikustopisha hivi kwa road ya kuulize what do you do? Do you even have a vision of the department you're leading? That is one thing you should have as a leader. And also, may your vision be in line with God's purpose for you. Because nimekuja kuona, yes, mi ni leader, but kuna times nasemanga, mi naweza fanya hii decision, then God like tutapata, hii si ni ya God. Then kumbe kenye nimedu inakuja kuni backfire, just because I didn't involve God in that decision making, in my purpose, in my vision itself. So that's another thing I'm learning. And then also, as a leader, you should love the people you're working with. Love the people who are under, like, who are you're in charge of, like, or the department you're in charge of. Yes, people have different personalities. Kuna mtu atakuja kurushie kijina, akurushie anything, but may God fill you with love, so that usiku una favor hawa, unachanisha hawa wengine. Naona? As a leader, you should have maintained the equality. Yes, you love people. Yes, you're friends with other people, but do you love every one of them equally? Do not be one mwenye unaweza receive bribe because umse ni beshte yako, so you don't favor your friends. So you don't favor other people. So it's all about love. Make sure you really love the people you're working with and the people who are under you. At the same time, you should care. That is one thing I'm also learning from now my leaders, the people we are working with right now. You should care. Si kazi kila siku. Si kila siku mkipatana, phone call ni job, umepeleka hizi nini. No, just care about people. Because people outside here are dealing with so many things in their lives. Just ile phone call ya, how have you been? Are you okay? Like, can we have a coffee? Can you have coffee? Can we have lunch together? Just care about them. Just care about the people you're working with. Because that's one thing I think a leader should have. And one thing, the last thing, is just having Christ in you. Nimeisema in points in these other things, but one thing I'd love to tell you is just have Christ in you, because Christ himself, he portrayed a good leadership lesson in everything that he did. And not even from the Bible, you get to see so many leaders who followed Christ, and you see the result. Also in our lives right now, we have so many leaders who serve in church, who serve outside here in the corporate world, but they have Christ in them, and you can see the result. So I hope you will be a different leader. I hope you will work towards improving them, because I know we are not perfect at the same time. Whatever you learn, your mistakes, get to work with them. Your strength, also sharpen on them, and may God guide you as you make all these decisions. As you become this kind of a leader, may God guide you in that. I'm also learning, and that is my prayer, that also I will become a leader that God wants me to be. Sindio? Yes, thank you for listening. One thing you have learned, you can share. Or also one thing you know, I don't know, please teach us. Let us teach one another and learn from one another. See you on our next episode. Bye.